The topic is critical reasoning. So, critical reasoning is a common question type in many exams. So, what you have to do is logically evaluate the situations which are presented. So, basically, you will be provided some statements, and on the basis of that, you have to critically find out which statement you know is in line with the given passage. So for that, we'll try to understand what all things are we going to study in this chapter. So the first thing is argument. Argument. So argument is like a statement which is meant to convince another person. Okay. So arguments are of two types. So the first one is strong, and the second one is weak. Okay, so we'll have certain statements, and on the basis of that particular statements, will be given some other statements, and we have to find out which is a strong argument with respect to the statements which are provided. So it is like directly related to the given statement, and the reasons which will be addresses as per the points given. And for weak argument, it is not directly. Okay, so this one is directly related and this one is not directly. Okay, so which makes the argument weak. So this is one type. The second is assumption. So we'll be provided certain statements and we have to assume as per the given condition or given statements that which is the best assumption which can have a direct meaning with the respective sentences given. Now third is implicit statement. Okay. Now, implicit statement is nothing but it is indirectly expressed in the main sentence. So we will have an indirect expression of the given statement. And the fourth is inference. Inference is nothing but a conclusion. Okay. So we have to find out a conclusion which is formed on the basis of the facts or evidences or the statements which are provided. And last is analogy. So analogy is nothing but it is a comparison between two comparable things. Okay, we have to find the similarities. So fifth is analogy. We have to find the similarities between the two sentences. So these are the type of critical reasoning questions. So we'll study this type of questions. So we'll start with the first question. You can look around this question for a minute or two, and then we'll solve this. So basically, there's a sentence. Okay, so there are some statement is given over here, and on that basis, you have to conclude. So basically, you have to find the conclusion. So if we say it is nothing but we have to find the inference of the above given statements. This is buy. Okay, so people buy. So let us start. So what is given over here is companies selling expensive consumer electronic products like smartphone or gaming console increase their advertising expenditure during the festival. So first, the statement is related to consumer electronic products, okay, and expensive products. So the products are X and Y, smartphone and gaming console. Now what happens is company increases their advertising expenditure during the festival season. So during the festival season, company, what does the company does is they increase the advertising expenditure on expensive consumer electronic products like smartphone or gaming console. Fine. So next, they usually declare several promotional schemes. Okay, so several promotional schemes for what? For expensive consumer electric products, or heavy or offer heavy discounts to attract buyers who traditionally shop such expensive items on festival days. So we have to find out a conclusion for the above passage. So what options do we have? First, people buy smartphone and gaming consoles only on auspicious days in the festival season. Advertising expenditure in the non-festival season is extremely low. People expect consumer durable companies to offer heavy discount during the festival season. Again, consumer durable companies consider the festival season to be very important for increasing sales. And final, advertising rates during the festival season are much higher as compared to the other times of year. So let us start with the first sentence. So what is given over here? People buy smartphones and gaming consoles only on auspicious day in the festival season. So if you compare this statement, so this is a direct statement that is saying that people buy smartphone and gaming consoles only on auspicious days. So which means the people only buy expensive products on auspicious days of the festival season, which has a certain inference that they don't or they do not try to buy anything in the rest non-festival season. So this is definitely not the conclusion, because what they have given is in the second statement is to attract buyers who traditionally shop. So traditionally shop means they shop sometimes, or they do or they shop on certain occasions. So statement one is wrong. Second, advertising expenditure in the non-festival season is extremely low. Okay, but let us try to understand this statement. Okay, so expenditure is low. So this statement only covers the part of advertising. Okay, the first point in the non-festival season is extremely low, but this does not have a direct inference with the above passage, because it has been only focusing on advertising expenditure in the non is extremely low, which does not give us the inference for the promotional schemes and attract to attract buyers. No. So people expect consumer durable companies to offer heavy discounts during the festival season. Yes, this has some inference with the passage, because it covers the consumer durable part, the discounts part, and the festival season. Next, consumer durable companies consider the festival season to be very important for increasing sales. Yes, it is mentioned in the above passage that they usually declare several promotional schemes or offer heavy discount on festival days. So they do all of these things to increase their sales, because they attract buyers who traditionally shop. So this is for buyers who traditionally shop. Last, advertising rates during the festival season are much higher as compared to the other times of the year. This is not the correct inference, because it points out something which is not in the favor. Okay, so that is festival season are much higher to the other times of year, and it does not have any inference to the above passage. So now we have eliminated sentence option 1, 2, and 5. So now we have two more options, that is people expect consumer companies to offer heavy discounts during the festival season. Okay, and consumer durable companies consider the festival season to be very important for increasing sales. Now if you look at option 3, it is true, but it is not exactly with the inference, sorry, the conclusion that we are looking for, because there is like no, there is no information regarding the view that people in general have the try to understand the strategies of the companies to offer a discount during the festival. And here people, so it comes like all people are expecting, but again traditionally shoppers are expecting something in the festival season. Okay, and they so they are attracting basically the people who traditionally shop for expensive items on festival days. So we can cancel out this. And the last option, consumer durable companies consider the festival season to be very important for increasing sales. Yes, they do consider it because they attract traditional buyers first. Second, they do massive advertising. Okay. And the third is they offer heavy discounts. So yes, it is important for them. So that's why they implement all these three strategies. So your answer will be option fourth. Similarly, you can have a look on this statement, this, and take 2 minutes and we'll continue again. Okay, so the statement is the JP Morgan report stated that India's millennial population is 400 million, which is the largest in the world. Okay, and it is armed with $280 billion in spending power. So the first statement is about India's millennial population, 400 million, which is the largest in the world, and it is a report by JP Morgan. And it is armed with $280 billion spending power, which means which has the capacity of spending power, that is spending money, which is of around $280 billion. Next, with this demographics, so demographics that we have talked about, and high smartphone adoption and widespread availability of mobile broadband infrastructure. This is second statement is with relation to the first statement, that with this demographics of the Indian millennial population and high smartphone adaptation, and also with widespread availability of mobile broadband infrastructure, it will become a disruptive force faster than most businesses expected at global platforms. So, in the first statement, they are talking about India's millennial population, okay, that is youngsters. Then it is the largest in the world. Again, it has a spending power of 280 billion USD. Now, the second statement talks about the high smartphone adoption by this youth. The second is the widespread availability of mobile broadband infrastructure, that is the internet. And with this all, with the mentioned above mentioned things, it will become a disruptive force faster than most businesses expect at global platforms. So, which of the following statements can be inferred? So again, we need to find a conclusion. Okay, so we'll start with statement number one. The population of India will hamper the economic growth. So we can easily eliminate out this statement, because in the last line it is clearly mentioned that it will become a disruptive force faster than most business expect at global platforms. So which means it is obviously going to disrupt businesses. That means it is enhanced. It is going to bolster the economy. Second, okay, second is the spending power of people will be a roadblock in the development of other countries. So even this can be eliminated because the passage refers to the spending power, and there is no statement which is mentioned about roadblock. So that is a block in the development of other countries. So no, this will also be eliminated. Third, the confluence of demographics along with increased usage of smartphone will lead India to a breakthrough that will be quicker than what most of the businesses had expected. So this is with inference. This point number three is inference with the last line that it will become a disruptive force, that is breakthrough that will be quicker than what most business expected. So yes, this can be one option. Okay, this can be one option. So um, so this can be one option. Second, the increased usage of smartphones will prove to be stagnant in the development and stages after a few years. So again, it is not something that we are looking for, and it is also not mentioned. The passage is completely mentioned on the positive sides of the population. That is the demographics and the smartphone adaptation. So obviously, this will get cancelled out. The availability of mobile will completely damage the Indian economy. Again, it is not the right option. So the only correct option here is three. Let's move ahead. We can take 2 minutes time to solve this question. So let us start with this question. So large sections of the city are home to poverty, hunger, and unemployment. Okay, the rural poor migrate to the cities with the expectation of better livelihoods and earnings, but the infrastructure of the city has not kept face with the demands of such population growth. As a result, the face of most Indian today has poverty juxtaposed with wealth. Fine. So let us start with this. Okay. So what does the first sentence says here? That the large section of the cities are home to poverty, hunger and unemployment, which means majority of the sections of those population which are living in that particular city are facing poverty, hunger, and unemployment. The rural poor migrate to the cities with expectation of better livelihoods, okay, and earnings, but the infrastructure of the city. Now here comes the main point, that the infrastructure of the city has not kept pace, which means it has not been able to cope up with the demands of such population growth. Now, which population growth? The rural migration, which is happening. Okay, as a result, the face of most Indian cities today has poverty juxtaposed with wealth. Okay, so we'll start looking at the options first. Um, which of the following weakens the argument? So we have to find a point which will weaken the argument. So the above argument, what does the above argument says? First is that large sections are facing poverty, hunger, unemployment. Second, the rural poor are migrating to the cities with better living expectations. Third, the infrastructure has not kept pace, which means it has not been able to deal with the population growth. And fourth, the most of the Indian cities towards today has poverty dealing with wealth. Okay. So first statement, the rural migrants in the city are responsible for the poor infrastructure. Okay. So this is point number one. Okay. So let us look at other points. Unemployment can be prevented with better infrastructure. So this is supporting. So if you look at this statement second, unemployment can be prevented with better infrastructure, which means the point that is mentioned over here, that infrastructure is responsible for a city's current situation. And even this point is saying the same, that if the infrastructure gets better, there won't be much employment. So this is kind of a strong argument. Okay, so this strengthens the above argument given in the passage. So what we need is something that weakens the passage. So this won't be the answer. Both poor and wealthy of the society can coexist in a city. So now this is what already has been happening. See, in the last line, you can see the face of most Indian city today as poverty dealing with wealth, or coexisting together. So this again is something which comes in inference with the above passage. So this won't be the answer again. So the poor migrating to the city are not interested in the infrastructure of the city. So there is no relation of what this point is trying to indicate. So the poor migrating to the cities are not interested in the infrastructure of city, but this is not the right answer again. So if you look, the rural migrants in the city are responsible for the poor infrastructure. So which means the rural migration is causing the infrastructure issue, which means it is responsible for the poor infrastructure. This is like a direct attack the assumption that is uh, made by the what the author. Okay, so we'll try to understand this. So first is point number second. If you look at the second sentence, it is trying to indicate that the rural poor are coming to the city, or migrating to the city with better in expectation, but the infrastructure is not able to cope up with it. And now here it is given that rural migrants in the city are responsible for the poor infrastructure. So this is the right option one, because it directly weakens the above argument, because now what they are trying to say, that the infrastructure has not been able to dealt with it, and here we are trying to weaken the argument by saying that the rural migrants in the city are responsible. So that's why there are issues of poverty, hunger, and unemployment. You can have a look at this question. Okay, so we'll start with this one. Indian Department of Telecom under the Universal Services Obligation Fund, okay, is working to bring high-speed broadband to every village in the country by 2018. Now, pointing out that Indian products are robust, have robust design for tough climatic industry conditions. Okay, it is said that the telecom manufacturing in India has characterized by the synergy between hardware and software. Okay, so we'll first see the sentence number one, that the Indian Department of Telecom under Universal Services Obligation Fund, okay, is working to bring high speed in broadband to every village in the country by 2018. So they have a goal that they will bring high speed broadband internet to every village by 2018. Pointing out that, so now we are looking at Indian products are have robust design for tough climatic industry conditions. Okay, it is said that the telecom manufacturing in India has characterized by the synergy between hardware and software. Okay, so we'll start with the options. Now here we want to understand the author's point. So what is the author exactly trying to indicate? First, the high-speed broadband cannot be brought to Indian villages as most of them would know the basic utilization of the internet. So we can directly eliminate out this, because what we are trying to say is what we are trying to actually explain about is, the first point is the high speed broadband to every village, then the tough climatic industry conditions, and the telecom manufacturing in India has characterized with the synergy between hardware and software. And here the point talks about the basic utilization of the internet, that it is talking about most Indian villages don't would not know about the basic utilization, which is not actually the true inference that we are looking for. So this will get cancelled out. Point number second, the telecom manufacturing in the country is identified by the interaction between hardware and software. Okay, so it is not only because of the interaction between telecom manufacturing, but it is because of the climatic industry conditions as well, which are taken into consideration. So that is, so this is not the only case that we are looking for. Okay, though termed as robust, Indian products seldom which and out of climatic conditions. Okay, seldom. So this is withstand. Okay, withstand tough climatic conditions. Withstand tough climatic conditions. Okay. So now point number three. Okay. But what we are trying. Okay. So what is the point given? That seldom. Okay. So though termed as a product seldom withstand tough climatic conditions. So robust. Okay, and it is clearly specified in. Okay, so clearly specified over here. Okay, so the point number three, we'll look at it again. So point number four, for high-speed broadband to be set up in villages, India offers the favorable climatic conditions required. So this is a point which is given over here, that pointing out that Indian products are robust design. So which means the climatic industry conditions, okay, the climatic industry conditions that are needed for high-speed broadband internet, so they are they are tough, but Indian products have that robust design to overcome such climatic conditions. Okay, fine. So now next is the Indian villages do not much offer to the companies. So this is not again, because this now talks about the investors, then the village issue, which is not in inference to the above passage. Now we have point number three and four. So now let us uh, talk about, though termed as robust, Indian products seldom withstand. Okay, withstand of climatic conditions. And the fourth point is, okay, so though term robust, but see, if you look at this point, okay, so here in again the point, in the second point, it is clearly mentioned that the Indian products have robust design for tough climatic conditions. So we can eliminate this out, and the only correct answer is that the village Indian or India offers the favorable climatic conditions required. So this is the last question. So people only take up call center jobs for two reasons. Either they are not qualified for other more respectable jobs, so this is one, or for the promised bonuses at the end of month. Okay, so these are the only two reasons uh, for people taking up call center jobs. Now, on which assumption is the following passage based? So we have to find one assumption. Okay, so that the above given passages finds to be true. Okay, now first, people are lazy to get educated in order to get respectable job. Okay, so there is no mention of people's behavior or people's uh, demeanor. So this won't be the correct answer. This can be easily eliminated. A call center job is hectic and pays less. So there is again no mention about the environment of the call center job and its pay. Cancelled. Call center jobs are not popular among job seekers. Okay, so let's consider this point. Call center jobs are not respectable jobs. So here we can look at this. So it is none. Look, just look at this point. More respectable jobs. So it is nowhere mentioned that they are not respectable. It's just mentioned that people are not qualified for more respectable jobs. It has not been said that these jobs are not respected. Okay, so there are no jobs available other than call center jobs. This is wrong, because then it would not be mentioned that there are more respectable jobs in the market. So the only correct answer is call center jobs are not popular among job seekers. So the one who are seeking for jobs will look for qualified jobs. Okay, the much more qualified jobs, and not just jobs which uh, like the people who are not looking for respectable jobs or for the promised bonuses. So this is the correct answer, option number 3. So in the exam as well, you will have similar questions. It's just you need practice for critical reasoning. Okay, so I hope everyone is clear with the points. So if there are doubts, you can ask us. And we also do have offline lectures on Sunday at our Mumbai branch. So you can contact us in the details mentioned at our YouTube channel. Thank you.